Good evening and welcome to Beyond the Headlines. Rivers State is once again at the center of a major constitutional and political test. Less than 24 hours after the Rivers State House of Assembly formally commenced impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, reactions have poured in from across the country, raising questions not only about the legality of the process, but also about its implications for governance, for federalism, and also political stability. The Rivers Assembly says it's exercising its constitutional powers under Section 188 of the 1999 Constitution, citing allegations of gross misconduct, financial irregularities, and non-compliance with court judgment. However, the Ijaw National Coungress, Nigeria's apex Ijaw social cultural organization, has strongly criticized the move. It's warning that it could undermine democracy and destabilize the Niger Delta. Let's bring in Professor Benjamin Okaba, who is president of the Ijaw National Congress. With him tonight is political analyst Ayo. Gentlemen, let's go beyond the headlines. Professor, your organization has described this impeachment process as a threat to democracy. What specific features of this process, as it stands today, raise that concern for you?
Thank you very much. When we say the impeachment process, we should first and foremost realize that the weaponization of impeachment as a process of settling scores has happened the third time since 2023 in Rivers State. And again, against the background that there were moves made by well-meaning Nigerians, including the president of this country, to broker peace. And in all, it's just about state capture, who is in charge of this, not about any misdemeanor or infractions committed by the governor. And also going by the body language of some state actors, talking about in the past 3 weeks, statements, declarations that Fubara should not have a second tenure, certain officers appointed by the state governor should be sacked, and some other things that are coming up by way of rumor. I call them rumor, though they are widespread. They are everywhere. Talk about some kind of toxic agreements reached by purportedly by the governor and the minister of what they call it of the Federal Capital Territory. This background to this, and again going by graphics showing that some persons that have no business with the assembly were even part of the impeachment process. So we took a total look of all of this and said that yes, Section 188 is being cited, but in the manner I wish this same process is started, following the same bravado that was introduced some years ago, talking about 2023 and some time ago, that we believe that this incessant threat is in itself a threat to democracy. Yes, what are the issues? You talk about misappropriation, etc., or you call for the submission of supplementary budget. Take the issue of supplementary budget for this time. It is supplementary budget is submitted by governor, not by duress. It is when he considers that appropriate, that he needs approvals to deal with certain things. But in as much as he feels that it is not appropriate, he can't do it. So why would that issue become an impeachable offense? So, and again, most of the things they are talking about were issues that were raised earlier, and well-meaning Nigerians have tried to look at that and say, please, and to the extent that, in fact, reducing the entirety of all this struggle to two individuals. And we said, no, that is not appropriate. Because as we speak, it's still very obvious that the assembly is just been playing the script of one individual who has told Nigerians countless of times that he owns River State.
Prof, we're going to talk about this individual shortly, but there's a sense to which you agree that government in River State sits on a tripod: executive, legislature, and judiciary. And Mr. Governor also requires that political, the kind of political dexterity it requires to work alongside members of the House of Assembly. Do you consider that a responsibility for him? For 3 years now, it's been difficult for him to carry them along. If they are saying, if 26 members of the House don't feel that he's working with them, isn't that something he should pay attention to?
I agree with you. You know, totally. Government is a tripod. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary should work together. And there should also be separation of powers to a large extent. Now, the River State situation is very peculiar. And again, if you have to understand it against the background of how these persons emerged as House of Assembly members, even how the governor emerged as a governor of the state. Somebody wakes up to say that he brought in all, including the governor. So I haven't brought them in through whatever means, right? People in politics, there must be, we must have people supporting one person or the other. Those things are normal issues. Now, but to the extent of saying, because I have frustrated, I have supported the coming in of assembly members, I've done that for also the governor, everything should be according to what I want. And these statements are not hidden. They are everywhere. Right? So what I'm trying to say is that the atmosphere for cordial relationship between the legislative arm of government and the executive government is not created. And you even if you go deeper into the complexities of the issue, you know that these assembly members are not even on their own. They are. I don't want to use certain words, but the unfortunate thing is that there is no independence. I told you a scenario where persons, state actors, and the journalists were lured into a situation, and it now turned into an impeachment arena where persons who don't have business with the process were gathered. So that means the gathering in the first place, where the impeachment process was conducted, was in the first place was not at the instance of the legislators. It is being gathered from some outside forces.
All right.
Those are the things we think should not be accepted in a
Let me bring Mr. Olude.
Anybody who is going into the House of Assembly
Prof.
should be mature enough.
Indeed, Prof.
Should be mature enough to drive his own process, to be able to speak for himself. His duty should be to the persons, the constituents that elected him to power.
I hear you, Prof.
Not to some other
I spoke with the spokesperson for the House of Assembly yesterday. They have a long list of grievances against Mr. Governor. I understand your position, but none of it, included whether or not they are being influenced by a person. But I agree with you, and this way I want Mr. Olude to come in, that in the past 3 years, River State has, been under the shadow of this infighting between Mr. Governor and his benefactor, the FCT minister. When you look at all of this development, critics of the governor arguing that governance has already been disrupted because of his inability to carry everyone along. Critics of the assembly say legislative actions are worsening the disruption. Mr. Olude, who in your view bears the greater responsibility to de-escalate the tension, and why?
It should be. We don't need to single out anybody for blame.
No, Prof.
Right?
I'm going to get back to you. I was directing the question to the political affairs analyst, Mr. Olude, who has also joined this conversation.
Okay. No problem. Thank you.
Mr. Olude, can you hear me?
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I think.
Mr. Lude, I'm asking that given what we've seen in the past years, the fact that Rivers State has bore the burden of these political infightings between two gladiators, who in your view bears the greater responsibility to de-escalate the matter and why? Prof, it seems we're having difficulties connecting with the other guest. Let me get your view on that.
Okay, my view is it should be shared responsibility. You shouldn't blame anybody. Shouldn't blame the governor. Shouldn't blame the legislators solely. Or they all together should shift their sword. There should be some level of independence. I want to believe that if the legislators today agree to be legislators by being independent and to carry out their mandate with the development of Rivers State as their priority, and the governor on his own part do the same thing, they have a meeting point. But what is playing out here is that it is a pursuit beyond. There's a disagreement, there's a disconnect between the major focus of government. While one is tilting towards the driving towards the benefit of some particular individual who has boasted that he is the father and mother of the state and that he must have control of everything. Have you seen the so-called agreement where you talked about no appointment at the all the local government areas should have local government chairmen that will not be loyal to him. Commissioners list must be posted. He must relieve. He has to sack his chief of staff and all that. He must not go for a second term. Those are aberrations in normal cases. And these persons we are talking about, who are supposed to be legislating, are taking these issues more as their primary responsibility. Prof, and that is where we have issues.
It sounds like
so I think
you have seen
yes.
You have seen that agreement. I haven't seen it. But are you saying that you have
not seen it? It's all over. I will post it to you.
Okay. But the interesting...
I will send a copy to you.
An interesting way to look at it would be that Fubara would never have been governor if he wasn't supported by former Governor Wike. And we keep hearing the term agreement is agreement. Do you think he also has that, he carries that burden of responsibility, choosing the path through which he became governor to honor whatever agreements you say it's out there?
No, let me say it this way. Wike himself, I can mention 2-3 people that facilitated Wike's appointment or election as governor, including Ijaw sons and daughters. Yes, people, even the likes of Peter Odili, who made him chairman of local government and all that. These persons were governors. And when they left governors, they left the structure for the governor. Is you understand this? That yes, you have supported somebody or you trained your child to school, all right, and made him a medical doctor. Does not mean that you define and dictate his entire life. The man, yes, he benefited from you. Yes, thank God for that. And he has acknowledged that fact severally, that yes, you made me this. But will that be a guarantee for you to destroy the same assistance, the same weapon, the same instrument you gave to him? That is exactly right. You are talking about the overbearing attitude, right? Okay, when we raise questions even about this same agreement, right? Now, that same day where we saw some people coming out, I have raised questions. I'm the president of IAC, so I've raised quite a number of questions, even with the governor. Now, what was the dynamics of that scene? How many persons did you see? You saw just Fubara, you saw PDP, APC chairmen who are factional chairmen on both sides, and you saw assembly members, and you saw and the Wike and so came out of a gathering that was said to be a meeting where there are agreement. Who were the persons on the side of Fubara? If you want to have an agreement, discussions and the negotiation to arrive at an agreement, you must come to terms that people will be supported by both sides. There are people that are strong, staunch members of the wicket team. They are also Fubara also his supporters, visible people, but none of these persons were there.
Prof,
so we can even allude to the fact that it was even ambushed into what was.
If I can jump in very quickly,
a meeting.
Because of our time, we have just about 2 more minutes to go.
What was actually a meeting of Wike and his followers, and he was just invited in, and they just came and addressed the press that we just reached an agreement. And of course, when we saw the terms of agreement, they were laughing.
Yes.
Nobody in the right senses will sign such agreement. Again, as we speak, just like you said,
if you can hear me, Prof.
There's no document to show that. Yes.
The INC is now calling on Mr. President to intervene again. Now, the thing about this is that he's intervened like twice, and what we hear is that after such intervention, there have been agreements that both parties, were signatory to, and the grievance from the other side is that Mr. Governor has not honored the agreement. Precisely, what do you think Mr. President can do differently this time? And is there also, because you have spoken you've spoken comprehensively on what you expect from the former governor. Do you think Governor Fubara also carries some weight of responsibility in resolving this matter?
He does.
And precisely, how do you expect Mr. President to intervene this time, contrary to what he's done in the past?
Well, the president has a major role. In fact, first of all, we have said that he has given a responsibility to the Minister of Federal Capital, and the president should call him to order to concentrate on his duties as a minister and allow the governor to be governor. Allow the governor to be governor. People have, in the past, and it's a continuous process, have always assisted people to be governor. So that is exactly the demand. And again, this position I'm postulating is being echoed by so many persons across sectors in this country. The APC Governors Forum recently, many Nigerians have said, because this is about democracy, President, call your minister to order. Let him concentrate on his enormous responsibilities in the Federal Capital Territory. Going around, you must have had a lot of statements going on, right? Even to some these are very provocative. But we have told ourselves that, look, this is not the time for violence. This is the time for constructive engagement. And that is exactly one of the reasons for the press statement I made, that Ijaw people should remain calm, Nigerians should remain calm. This is not an Ijaw matter, so to speak. It's every lover of democracy should be involved. So what I'm saying, the burden of responsibility on Fubara is to provide a level playing ground. And that, again, cannot be forced on an unwilling ox, because there are some persons who have decided to be recalcitrant to what is either the man is removed or nothing. And I think that is not good enough.
President, Ijaw National Congress, Professor Benjamin Okaba, thank you so much for talking to us on the program this evening.
Thank you. God bless you.
We had challenges connecting with Ayo Olude, but a big thank you, Mr. Olude, for also joining the conversation. That's our show today. Remember, you can watch it again at midnight and 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.